wants to label, whenever you talk about what the black activists in Chicago are going through, or whenever you talk about what black people here in New York are complaining about, they'll say, that's MAGA messaging. How is it MAGA messaging?
It's not MAGA messaging. Listen, the bottom line is when Joe Biden got elected, he said he wanted to fast track 4 million undocumented residents to full citizenship. Black people completely ignored it. I spoke on it. I said, do you know why he want to fast track 4 million? Because he know he's not going to do nothing for us. We ain't going to be motivated to vote for him in November. So what he's going to do is have these migrants already set up with citizenship so they can replace the black vote that he loses. The migrants are being put in our communities on purpose, New York and Chicago on purpose, because they are what? The two blackest cities in America. They're the two largest cities in America. They're the two most politically conscious black communities in America. So if we can wash out the black with the brown in New York, if we can wash out the black with the brown in Chicago, Philly don't stand a chance. Atlanta don't stand a chance. LA, Houston, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago don't stand a chance. The migrants are here for 3 reasons. Replace us at the polls, replace us at the low-end industry jobs, right? See, when Donald Trump said during the debate that Joe Biden is taking black jobs and giving them to migrants, he was correct. Although he didn't say it because he cared about us, but he's right. When people say, what do you mean by black jobs? Get out your bougie feelings and deal with the reality. 1/3 of black men have a felony. So there's a lot of jobs they will never qualify for. They are mostly what? Essential workers, warehouse, trucking, security. And a lot of those jobs are going to who? The migrants. So that's what he meant by black jobs. We got to stop being so sensitive and look at the reality of it. I was reading a report the other day. They said the Latinos taking over the construction jobs. They taking them over. And the low industry work, like your gardening, your landscaping, completely taking it over. They're not the enemy. The problem is black people don't get as much opportunity. So then people say, well, you know, white people don't really like brown people like that. That's true. But you know what the difference is? They don't have the burden of accountability with them that they have with us. We built the country. So every time they look at us to deal with us, the bottom line is y'all brought them here and they built y'all into what y'all are. They don't have to say that to the Venezuelans. They don't have to say that to the Colombians. They don't have to say that to the Mexicans. So although they don't like brown, they will much rather deal with them than the black, because with the black, there is a white man's burden that you owe them restitution for 246 years of unpaid labor. Now let's look at what Eric Adams is doing over there in New York. A family of 4 is getting $1,400 a month. $1,400 a month. Do you know that that's more than what some of the veterans are getting with a child? They're getting more money than veterans who served in the military. Not only that, they're getting free food stamps, free childcare, and permanent housing. Although New York City has a black homelessness rate no less than 35%. So you got black people who pay taxes living on the street, and you got migrants who ain't paid a single tax in their life, eating and living better than the black people who built the country. If I was talking to Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson of Chicago, I would ask them something. What is the Democratic Party giving you guys that you're willing to sacrifice your political future to push this migrant agenda? Because I don't see how they get reelected by black folks. I don't see how. And if your city goes to the migrants, you can best believe the migrants ain't electing no black person to mayorship. So you're literally dying on your sword for the Democratic Party.
Now there's more of this clip, but before we get back to the clip, I just want to say this. For the 71% of black people that still plan on voting for Biden, we got 2 options. Now, you're still going to be black in America, and forget about being prioritized by either one of these parties, because we are the poorest demographic in a capitalistic society where money talks. So we're not going to get prioritized by either one of them. If you think the Democratic Party has been prioritizing black people and the black family over the past 2 decades, you're damn near crazy. And it has to be obvious at this point. LGBTQ, women, and now immigrants are definitely coming before you. So we have 1 or 2 options. The first option is you get replaced by immigrants. They take your jobs. They take your tax money. They replace you in the voting booth. They're trying to make it so that immigrants can vote without an ID. You need an ID to buy a Modelo, but they're telling you that now you don't need an ID to vote for the future president of the United States. I wonder why they're doing that.
What's going on here at the migrant crisis? What do people think about the migrants here inside Chicago?
On some real shit, I think they need to go on back where they at, Joe. We ain't got enough room for them right now.
Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it.
And where should they go?
Shit, somewhere where's room for them at. Even if it's back to where they at or another little city. But Chicago, 2 pack, man, we already got a lot going on.
What do you think about them giving them free hotels, free phones?
That's what I'm saying. They treating them better than real residents. Like, they giving them shit that they ain't give us. and we born and raised in Chicago. They come here giving them $15,000 in their name, a GN link, all type of shit. I'm damn. But you got homeless people sleeping on the street. You know, they fucked up, but y'all bringing people in, treating them better than motherfuckers who from Chicago. I don't like that though.
What's your direct message to Mayor Johnson then?
Man, fix this. Get this shit together, bro. Help the city. Don't just be all talk. You talk that talk to get in there, live it. Stand on business.
The black voters showed up wearing red shirts with the words, "No more blue, go red, and turn Chicago red."
For the money for these immigrants today, and we coming for them seats. You can believe that.
The police are fighting with them in the shelters that you guys are funding. You guys think it's a great idea, but yet your police officers are getting attacked. Your public's getting attacked.
Somebody who's obviously a one-term mayor, if he even makes it that far, you better be worrying about your job. You better be worrying about your longevity, because we're going to vote and we're going to get you out because you ain't doing right by us. That's what time is.
Interesting how Mayor Johnson's first year has gone with the migrants and crime. A new group wants to change that by getting a referendum on the ballot this November that would pave the way to voting Johnson out.
That money in my neighborhood. We need that on my block. So I'm asking y'all to use our tax money for our people.
So we got two options. The first one is get replaced by immigrants and can't afford groceries. And the second one is at least be able to afford groceries and gasoline. Make the economy a little bit better if you already gonna be black anyway. Black people so poor in America right now, we can barely afford to pay attention. We don't have the leniency to be able to put the economy on pause for another 4 years to talk about a man slapping on a wig and going into a women's bathroom. We got to chill that out for a second. Next election, we can talk about abortion. We can have those conversations after we can afford food. So we got two options. The first option is get replaced by immigrants and not be able to afford anything and have your tax dollars go to other countries, or at least be able to afford groceries. You're still not going to be prioritized. And I also want to say this. Trump ain't perfect. Do I think he's going to drain the swamp? No. We got a whole Jeffrey Epstein list. Ain't nobody on that list goddamn been talked about. Do I think that Trump is America first? He claims to be America first, but he says that he still supports Israel. You can't be both. That's affecting him right now. You can't claim to be America's first and then say that you still support Israel. You got to choose one, brother. So is Trump perfect? No. But at least the economy will be in a position where we can afford groceries, and there will be immigrants that are taken out of your neighborhoods, and your tax dollars will at least go to other Americans. That don't sound better?
Do you know that New York City has spent $1.5 billion on the migrant crisis so far? It's projected that this year, 2023 was $1.5 billion to take care of the migrants. $1.5 billion. 2024 and 2025, they said it will cost New York City $9 billion. Chicago has spent about $350 million this year on the migrant crisis, and that's expected to quadruple. And you know what was so disrespectful about Chicago with regard to Brandon Johnson? Remember all them schools they shut down in Chicago because they said they couldn't afford to operate them? Mm-hmm. They opened them up. Not only did they open them up, they renovated them. Turned them into apartments for migrants, so you sleep upstairs, go to school downstairs. How is it that you ain't got money for jobs for black people, which is a big reason why you got so much crime? You got all these homeless black people in Chicago, but you can take care of the migrants before you take care of black people? And that's why I'm hoping that Black Chicago organizes, just like co-founder of the Black Panther Party, Bobby Seale did at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Bobby Seale turned up and turned it out with the Black Panthers. I hope Chicago doesn't let President Biden and Vice President Harris come there, because you know the Democratic National Convention is in Chicago, right? August 19th through August the 21st. I hope Black Chicago don't let the Democrats come to your city where they have bred this migrant crisis and y'all don't do nothing about it. And I'm gonna tell you who else needs to stand up and show out. Milwaukee. Even though they don't have a migrant crisis like Chicago and New York, the Republican convention is in Milwaukee next Monday, this coming Monday. And guess what? Milwaukee, black people are the largest ethnic group. Unlike Chicago, it's white, Hispanic, black. Milwaukee is black, white, Hispanic. But guess what? Milwaukee has one of the worst black male graduation rates in America. So I'm hoping that Black Wisconsin goes to that Republican National Convention and exercise their First Amendment rights to peacefully assemble and protest. But don't let them come to your city after causing all these problems and let them leave without them hearing from you. They are replacing us. America if they can do it, they're going to purge black people with brown. Why do you think the New York regents, did you see that they said they're going to stop requiring the regents examination to get your high school diploma in New York? Is it that convenient? All of a sudden, we get a migrant crisis in New York, and now you don't have to pass the regents no more. You know why? Because we got to make sure the migrants take all the jobs from black folks. They're already taking over the social services. They dominated the social services. If you black and hungry and need some food, too late. The migrants got it. Same thing in Chicago. You black and hungry, need some food, need a job, the migrants got it. I'm trying to understand how Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson can hand out all these work permits when you got all these unemployed black men. Half of black men in New York unemployed. Half of black men in Chicago unemployed. But you got migrants getting jobs. You're holding job fairs for migrants. You're giving out job passes for migrants. And you know, because of the election fraud, if you got a work permit, it ain't that hard to get a voting registration permit. But I got a question for Eric Adams. Did y'all see he said that he was thinking about staffing the pools during the summer with migrants because they're good swimmers?
Right.
40% of black teens, 15 to 24, that age group, are unemployed in New York. Mayor Eric Adams, how you going to give the lifeguard jobs to the migrants when half your black kids ain't got no job? Don't you think you should start with the children of the black people who pay taxes? I really don't understand them too. I do kind of feel sorry for them.
Maybe
I don't
he
think
feel like black people can't swim. He's buying into that stereotype.
Put some money out there. We're going to swim.
We'll learn.
But my thing is, I know they know what they're doing isn't good for their political future. The only thing I can think of is they're too afraid to tell the Democratic National Machine that I'm not going to go along with this because, you know, they can destroy them. I really think they're being forced to sacrifice their career in order to purge their own people from the two largest cities.
Y'all remember in the last election when we voted for Biden at a 91% rate after he went on the Breakfast Club and said, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black? Y'all remember before the last election when Ice Cube came up with the Platinum Plan for Black Americans? He gathered a bunch of black economists, professionals, doctorates, and came up with the Platinum Plan for Black Americans. He said we're going to meet up with both of the campaigns, and whoever agrees to our terms is who we're going to vote for as black Americans. He reached out to the Trump campaign. They said, sure, we'll meet up. Met up with Trump, agreed to some terms. Reached out to the Biden campaign and didn't even get a call back. Why? Because the Democratic Party already knew our black ass was going to vote for them at a 91% rate. So why do anything for us if they already got our vote? So Biden didn't want to meet up with Ice Cube with the Platinum Plan for Black Americans, but he wanted to go on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, who he knows is a devout Democrat. Is going to vote for him anyway. He want to meet up with Cardi B and have conversations with Cardi B.
You know what? If I kill somebody, I got to go to jail. You got to go to jail too. That's all I want.
He want to meet up with Glorilla.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, well, not Joe, but yeah, you.
Yeah, Glow.
Did they talk to you about what they wanted politically? Did they want your endorsement? Did they want you to help people get out the vote?
Hey, you know, that ain't got nothing to do with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. But, you know, I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, talk politics, but I love the president, you know what I'm saying? I love everybody, and at the end of the day got to end.
I beg your pardon?
And have conversations with Glorilla, but he couldn't meet up with Ice Cube. Who are these people prioritizing? Why are we giving them our vote? Why are we so loyal to their party when they refuse to do anything for the black family? I'm not just talking about black women. I'm talking about the black family. And for the black women that prioritize the Democratic Party because they do shit for feminism, black women didn't get the right to vote when white women got the right to vote. Black women got the right to vote when we got the right to vote. The white feminists never gave a shit about black women. Y'all just the attack dogs for the movement. So forget about that. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I get it. Both candidates is whatever it is. Ain't nobody perfect. And I don't want to put words in Dr. Umar's mouth. I'm sure he's not voting for either because neither of them are pro-black or aligned with the black movement. But for me, I'm going to use my vote, and I plan on voting for T-Dog. I plan on voting for gas and groceries, no World War III. That's where my vote is going. Tax dollars here in America. That's where my vote is going. And we're going to have to figure out what happens. I want y'all opinion on this. Let me know in the comments below who y'all voting for and why you voting for them. Don't just say who you voting for no reason. Tell me why you voting for them. Maybe if I read the comments, somebody can change my mind on this. But I'm gas, groceries, and no World War III. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special. That's a Help Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.